Canva is an easy-to-use design program, especially suitable for beginners. It allows users to create templates for selling online, serving as a digital product that can generate passive income. Canva generates a unique link for each template, enabling sellers to deliver editable templates to buyers. Once purchased, buyers can use the provided link to customize the template according to their preferences, making it their own. They can be for things like party invites, business stuff like brochures and flyers, media kits, thank you cards, PDF workbooks, ebooks, checklists, and cheat sheets. You can make all sorts of stuff. Today, I'll show you step by step how to make a template. Then, I'll explain how to put it up for sale and give it to the person buying it. Before we start designing, there are two really important things to know about working on Canva. First, you need Canva Pro to get that editable link I mentioned for delivering to buyers. Canva has a free version and a paid one called Canva Pro. With Canva Pro, you get extra features, but without it, you can't generate the link we'll talk about soon. Second, Canva has a clear policy: you can't just edit and resell their pre-made templates. If you see templates on Canva, you can use them for personal or sometimes business use, but you can't sell them. Anything you plan to sell must be made from scratch. Alright, let's get started. I'll show you how to find inspiration and ideas on Canva. Today, we're making a business thank you card template. First, we'll look for inspiration before we start designing. We'll head to Etsy and search for business thank you card. We'll check out the top sellers to get some ideas. Remember, we won't copy them exactly, just getting some inspiration to create our own design from scratch. I'm checking out what's available and picking styles I like. I prefer simpler designs with a brush stroke at the top and some basic colors. They usually include a spot for a logo and social media info. I'm also checking the size of the designs. Most are 4.25 by 5 inches, which seems popular. They also have space for a logo and a thank you message. This helps us get ideas to make our own design from scratch. So, let's head back to Canva. We'll click on Create a Design and then select Custom Size. Change the units to inches and set it to 5.5 inches by 4.25 inches. Click on Create New Design, and here's our canvas. We can zoom out a bit to make it smaller, which helps with visibility. If you're new to Canva, you'll be working on the left side. These tabs give you access to different elements. First, let's look at the text options in Canva. When you click on the text button, you'll see Canva offers different combinations of fonts. These fonts go together well and come in different styles. You can pick any of them. Now, if you notice a small crown symbol next to a font pairing, that means it's a Pro option. You need Canva Pro to use those fonts. If you're making templates to sell online, it's best to use the free options. That way, people who buy your templates won't have to pay extra to remove watermarks from Pro elements. So, when you're making a template, look for fonts without the crown symbol. Those are free for anyone to use. You have two options: you can use the text styles Canva provides, or you can add your own text. I'm going to add a big heading that says "Thank you for your purchase." I can change its size and move it around wherever I want. If I want it in the center, I can do that too. I'll also pick a cute, curly font for it and make it a bit smaller. Oh, when I put it on the second line, it looks too close together. To fix that, I can change the space between the lines. I can also change the space between each letter if I want. Alright, it looks better now. Let's make sure it's in the center. Now, I want to add something behind the text, like a brush stroke or watercolor. I'll search for brush stroke in the graphics and choose something I like. Remember, most of these I can change the color of too. Let's give it a try. We can click up here to change the color. It's important to think about the colors we're using and make sure they match the look we want. We want the colors to go well together and look nice. Also, if we're putting text on top of a picture like this, we need to make sure the text stands out. So, if the background is dark, we should use light colored text, and if the background is light, we should use dark colored text. This helps people read it easily. Alright, let's do that. We'll resize the brush stroke and put it where we want it. Now, let's imagine this is from a handmade shop. We'll add another text box where the buyer can type something like "Your order was handmade with love." We hope you enjoy. I'll pick a font we like for this. Now, we want to make a space for their logo because many times, if it's not a business, they might want to add their own logo. First, we'll go to Elements and close the brush stroke. Then, we'll go to Frames and add a circle frame. Okay, let me explain that. When we add a frame in Canva, it's like a spot where the buyer can put a file, like a picture or a logo. Whatever they drop in there will fit perfectly inside the frame, matching its shape. So, for the logo, we're using a circle frame. Then, we'll go to Elements and add a circle on top. This circle we're adding will be underneath the text, acting like a placeholder for the logo. We need to make sure this circle is the same size as the frame, so we'll check the frame size. Now, let's make sure our circle is the same size. Great, let's do that. We'll drag the circle we made right on top of our frame. We'll make sure it's the color we want. Now, let's add some text to go on top of our circle. We'll write something like your logo here so the buyer knows that's where they should put their logo. Then, we'll move it to where we want, making sure it's centered in the middle of the circle. We'll make it a bit smaller and change the color to make it stand out more. Got it. We'll also change the font. When the buyer downloads this, they can delete these text and elements on top. The frame will still be there, so they can drag their logo into it and it'll fit perfectly. That's the logo spot sorted. Now, let's make a section for their social media. If we go to Elements and type in, let's say, Instagram logo, we can use any of these that are not Pro elements. We'll just click, resize, and drag it down. Easy. We'll change the color to fit with our color scheme. Since we're putting a few of these, we'll make them small. First, let's add an Instagram icon. Now, let's add a Facebook icon. We'll change its color to match. We want to make sure both icons are the same size. Now, let's add an icon for email. Cool tip, Canva has a feature where if you want to make sure different icons or text are evenly spaced, you can select them all, go to Position, and then under Space Evenly, click Tidy Up. That'll make sure they're all lined up nicely with equal space between them. Let's group these icons together so they move as one. Now, I'll add some text next to them as a placeholder. This will show the buyer what to do here. I'll make sure the font matches what I like and is the right color. Then, if I want the same style for the other text, I can duplicate it. I'll click on it, then up here where there's a plus symbol and it says Duplicate, I'll click that twice. Now, I'll drag and drop them where I want. Now that we have everything spaced correctly, let's group all of this together so we can move it around as one. I'll put it right about here. Once they're grouped, we can make the whole thing larger or smaller, which is handy. Now, I want to add a little line between these two sections. I'll go back to Elements and search for Line. I'll choose a simple one and rotate it so it's vertical. Then, I'll drag it down and resize it as needed. I'll also make it the color I want. With this line, I can change how it looks. Up here in the left corner, I can change the style, like making it dotted or dashed, and I can also change how thick or thin it is. Cool, right? Okay, let's make those adjustments. I'll make the title a bit bigger and center it. I'll also increase the size of our brush stroke slightly. Lastly, let's add a cute little heart or some other element. I like this one. I'll change its color here. Oh, I noticed some thank you cards had a border at the bottom. If you want to add one, just move all your elements up a bit. You could do this from the start if you know you want a border, so you don't have to readjust everything later. To add the border, go to Elements and search for Square. Add a square, resize it, and drag it to the bottom. Make it stretch all the way across to look like a bottom border. Then, change its color to whatever you like. There you go. Alright, now that we're done designing, let's get our shareable link. We'll click on Share up here, then go down to where it says Template Link and click that. It'll make a special link just for this template. Click Copy. Now, we're going to create a separate PDF design that we'll put this link on. That's what your buyer will get when they purchase. We'll create a new design just for this purpose. You can start from scratch or use a template. I found one that I'll use as a base to edit and change into what we want for our PDF download. First, I'll change the background color to match our branding. Then, I'll change this text to reflect what the item is that they just purchased. In this case, I'll say thank you card. Next, I'll give it a title that's clearer about what it is, so I'll say Business Thank You Card Template. Here, I'll write, "Thanks for your purchase." Click the link below to access your template. And if I want, I can change this to a different font to match our branding. Looking good. Okay, I'll stick with the main font because I like it. Now, here's a frame, so we can delete the picture they have. Then we'll see the frame left. If we drag a photo into this frame, it'll fit perfectly. So, what I suggest is to take a screenshot of the design they just purchased. You'll take the screenshot right here of the design. Then, come back to your new document you're creating in Canva. Go to Uploads and upload the screenshot you just took. Easy. Great. I'll drag and drop the screenshot onto the screen. You can always double-click it to move it around and show a certain part. I think I'm okay with it right here in the middle. Now, it's time to add the link. I'll click on the text in this box down here, then I'll go up to the right where I see the little link symbol. I'll paste the link that we copied from before. This is the link we got, the shareable link from the design we made. It'll automatically set this as a link. This design is what we're going to upload to Etsy next. When your buyer purchases it, this is what they'll get as their instant download. They'll be able to click this link and it'll take them right over to the editable template on Canva. Perfect. Let's download this. We'll click on Share up here, then Download. We want to choose the file type as a PDF print. Done. Alright, let me show you real quick how to create a listing and upload it to your digital product listing on Etsy. When you're adding a new listing, you'll select Digital under Type. Then, scroll down to where it says Digital Files, and click to upload a file. You'll upload the PDF file that you just downloaded. See, it's added right here. One thing to note is that when I downloaded it, I didn't actually change the name it was saved under. You definitely want to put your own file name in there when you're saving it, so your buyer sees it as what you want them to see it as. Now, when you publish this listing and your buyer purchases it, they'll get automatic access to this PDF download. Easy, right? Let me show you what it would look like when they pull it up. This is what they'll see, and they can click here, Edit My Template, and it'll take them right over to what they purchased, so they can edit the template. They'll click Use Template. Now, if they don't have a Canva account, they'll have to register for one, but it's totally free. They can just sign up for the free account. Once they do, they can click Use Template, and it'll take them right over to the copy of the template that they can then click on and edit how they want and use it how they want. And that's how you create and sell a Canva template online. Easy, right? I hope that was helpful for you. I hope it got some ideas going for how you could start your own digital products business and make some passive income. If you've made it this far and found this video valuable and helpful, would you give it a thumbs up for me?